name's Chris Johnson. I'm from North Dakota State University. I work for Dr. Neil Goodmestead, and we're working on typing Liberibacter into the different strains. And what we'd like to see is if we can find a link between the type of Liberibacter and then the symptoms that present in infections. And what my presentation will be on is we developed a model for the bacteriophage based off the citrus greening phage publications that have come out recently. And then looking hopefully to find we're expecting to find a high level of variability between the types of Liberibacter in their phage regions. Just generally speaking, historically they're considered hypervariable, and we do expect to find a lot of variation there. And then eventually the goal will be to link that variation to some kind of change in phenotype. So, but yeah, right now we're just developing a model for the phage, what we expect it to look like, where it's integrated into the Liberibacter genome, and then try to find consistent variation between the haplotypes of Liberibacter. Sequencing is, sometimes it's really fast and sometimes it's not. We've gotten some really interesting data back already. Most of it's a little preliminary to really get excited about, but I would think by spring we'll have a pretty good picture of what kind of variation we expect to see. And then we've got potatoes going into the greenhouse now that will hopefully be really interesting to see the variation, if there's any variation in those phage regions between the different strains that we have. So it could be a fun winter.